I gotta ask you, because we didn't get to talk to you much after what was the end of one of the great careers in boxing back in September. A lot of your fans, they were sad to see the great Bernard Hopkins lose his last fight, but what was your perspective on it? Because another perspective might be that you went out like a warrior. You kept fighting until, you almost couldn't physically fight anymore. What was your perspective on what was a great career and how it ended?
First of all, you can't take nothing away from Joe Smith. Joe did his job in the ring. He trained, he came prepared. And one thing that, the maturity from asking me this question, 15 plus years ago, it would have been some, type of reason. But I always fought in my era the toughest and the baddest, and especially if you got a title guy in my division. And boxing now is getting back to that, and it's going to happen. Whether it's Canelo Triple G, Canelo Chavez, fights that are happening now that nobody expect to happen, amongst other promoters and rivals that's throwing fights that we never thought that was going to happen. So we do see some changes, and I hope to see more, and I believe we will see more for the better of everything, and that is the fans and boxing, period. But back to Joe Smith. Joe Smith, strong. He's going to be a force in the light heavyweight division, by no doubt. Whether it was me at 35 or me at 51 or 52. Can't take nothing away from me for the good, tough fight, while it lasted, and I respect him and I wish him well in his career. When it comes to fighting the best in your division, in any era, before or after, that stays in history minds of the fans and also boxing. Even if you come up short, but you fought the best where you could have fought this guy or that guy, that lasts longer in boxing minds than fighting fights that didn't matter only to your bank account, or fighting fights that didn't matter only to your ego. When you have a track record of that, to me at the end, that will be part of your legacy along with the good things you did. I wanted to be no debate or no argument when my record and historic career is on the table. That the debate gonna have to be not long, but where we put him at. Do we put him as greatness would be second to be iconic, or further to the point where you get to the point of saying that amongst fighters in almost 100 years or more, Bernard Hopkins is right up there with the greats. That to me is something that football players, basketball players, in any sport, and especially boxing, is a very, 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 very uncrowded house. Uncrowded house. It's not crowded up there. And so to be a part of that conversation and knowing that I'm more in than out.
All the way in, I would say. I would say all the way in.
The more in than out.
Yeah.
To me, it's like job well done. My career has been overextended about at least conservatively 15 to 11 years prior to promising my mother at 40. So you take 16 years later, maybe a number off or number two. Never been a math genius, but I can count money good. I am blessed. I am overly blessed through hard work, right? Patience, and a lot of tough skin. Layers of it. And so I hope that through my trials and through my success and failures that someone out there, lady or male, be inspired by how I pick myself up from my bootstraps with some help along the way, and made something out of a life that could have been wasted.
I got it.